Well, isn't it nice not having fixture congestion? We have got the luxury of 2 weeks off between our two Champions League games on camera today, whereas Linfield already 3 games behind and having to play catch up very early on. Yes, hello, and welcome along to part 153 of this Build a Nation story, Lifting Spirits with me, Daniel. We are back today to play two of the more famous names of European football at home. Visiting us at the new Grosvenor Stadium are Ajax and Real Madrid. We've got one side who I expect to be a real threat today, and an Ajax side who, well, are brilliant, have got a great history, but at the moment are not in the strongest Dutch league. So if you're looking forward to seeing how we get on against the two of them, as it looks like we're going to be the runaway leaders in the league, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Of course, Coleraine and Larne did not make European group stage football and have both fallen a number of points behind already. Linfield have only lost the one game against us, but in truth, it was more comfortable than a lot of recent seasons, and despite that, they've not had the biggest goal difference, they've not had the best wins, and as you can see, they're already a number of games behind, albeit their games in hand are against the bottom half teams. So we'll keep an eye on their progress today and see how they're getting on in Europe, because I haven't actually looked yet. Let's hope it's going to be a positive one as we start a run of many home games in a row going into the international break, and two of them are in the Champions League with a break between, something we don't often get in this save. But let's go and start by having a look at the schedule for what's been happening since you were last here, because we have played a fair few games since our narrow defeat at United. And crucially, we've got a win in the Champions League as well, which was an awful lot closer than it looked. So you were with me as we lost 2-1 at Old Trafford in a game where we were thoroughly outplayed, but we followed it up with 3 big wins, 4-0 away at Crusaders, or at home to Crusaders even. It was Gavin Reid, a Scully brace and Damien Dunn. A 5-0 against Glenarvan with a Dunn hat-trick and 2 for Howard. A 3-0 win against Linfield in a very dominant display. Yes, a late red card before the third goal, but it was 2-0 and very comfortable beforehand. Merival, Austin and Scully with a brace in that one. Nearly 11,000 fans in for a league game though, which was great. A 4-1 win followed against Torino in a game where we were 2-1 up and hanging on at the 80-minute mark. But then Torino did what AI sides do. They go so gun-ho at 80 minutes that they leave 1,000 spaces at the back. And we took advantage. Lonsdale and Scully completing his brace late on. David Bird had got one in the first half too. Scully scored 4 against Larne as we beat them pretty comfortably in the league. Before a 4-0 cup win with a reserve side, Howard, Kidd and 2 for Morgan Griffiths. Then a 0-0 draw against Queen of the South. That in the midst of the international break. 7 or 8 away, but we probably should have done better. In the end, we did win it on penalties, even though Sean McGuckin missed. A 7-0 in the Antrim Shield quarter against Carrick. McGuckin made up for his penalty miss with 2. Morgan Griffiths got a hat-trick, the final one from the spot, and Jordan Howard got a couple as well. And then a 3-1 win last weekend away from home at Portadown. It wasn't the best first half. We took 35 minutes to have a shot on target. But in the end, we did get a very big win. Viavan got one, and then after half-time, Mark Scully with another big brace. He is now flying away in the scoring charts. He scored 19 in 7. He might be a little too good for this level. So today we face Ajax and Real Madrid, separated by 14 days. And due to the bizarre rulings with the stadiums in FM, whether it's right in real life, I don't know. I can't possibly imagine it is. We can play at home at the new Grosvenor Stadium in the Champions League groups, but not in the Europa League or Europa Conference. That cannot be right. Surely for the Champions League, you must have to have 2,000 seats, and maybe that bit's just missing from the FM code. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. But for now, we have got 2 big games, and if we can get a result from one of them, obviously the Ajax one is more likely. Then with that, maybe if we can win at AEK as well, should send us through into that sort of knockout round, where maybe we'll get a luckier draw than last time. But of course, after a year break, just great to be back in the Champions League and winning. Let's see how Linfield have been doing on Thursday nights. Has their league congestion been worthwhile? Well, yes, it has so far. A 5-0 defeat at Roma, so not sure they're going to be winning competitions again anytime soon. But they did win 2-1 at home to Karabag, a big one, and the winner was Kashif Beaton. The other goal was Mackie, a Northern Ireland star who we almost signed from them. So it is definitely a case of us helping the nation by not signing one and by sending them the other. They're going to have to get results at one or two of these big grounds, which is unlikely. Away at Montpellier, Hanover and Leipzig, that's going to be tricky. But fingers crossed they can find a way through, because we saw what they can do before. So that's where we are with the club sides at the minute. Let's have a quick look at the nation, because it is hotting up. We had a really poor start in qualifying for that. The World Cup playoff place is what we're aiming for. We're at home to Latvia, who are the whipping boys of the group next time out. And if we win it, we will finish in second place. But how we do on the best place playoffs and all that, I've no idea at this point. It's not been a great campaign for us. The defeat away in Poland was really poor. We just sort of sat back for a 0-0 at home to Italy. We got a poor result in Israel when again we dominated. And in the last break, yes, we got that great win against Poland, but then Italy did what you would expect. So a home win against Latvia might send us into a playoff. I don't think it will send us straight through. But I'll keep you posted on that front in the next episode. For now, it is all about Lisburn Distillery. We, of course, had a very interesting summer. But what will we have in the Champions League tonight? We start against an Ajax side with no manager. We've talked about that problem countless times, having started this save in the beta and loaded the league's mid-save. It just seems to have caused problems with managerial staff and benches. But as long as they're there, that's the main thing. Derry City, we mentioned about the importance for them, a club that technically is in Northern Ireland but play in the Republic of Ireland League. They've got players who are homegrown for Northern Ireland, and to be hosting PSG is a pretty big occasion, so hopefully some of those young stars get game time. For us, let's go and get through to the lineup. You can see they've got a start in the number 10 role. We are 200 fans away from selling out. I hope that's the away end rather than the home one. And let's see the team we're going to pick today. I think it's going to be this. Collier misses out on a squad. Dunn is not quite fit. Everyone else is involved. And our 11, probably not far from what you'd expect. It is Morrison in goal, who I realise I've flitted between calling Jim and Jonathan throughout the last year or so. His name is Jonathan, there he is. He is our number one keeper. Our defence is Reed and Stowell at fullback with Davis and Bird in the middle, forming a pretty decent partnership in there now. Bayavang and Gash the midfield two, Merival Austin the number 10, and then Cowan and Misselidis of Scully up front, who is having a ridiculous season. I did think about Vladimir, but he's just dropped off the last couple of games, had a few knocks through in the last few weeks, so we're just keeping him out of the limelight. We're going to get into it, see how we get on against Ajax. Well, two changes for our Dutch visitors, including that star number 10 coming in. No familiar names at this point, of course. Let's go and ask the lads to pick up where they left off. We've been playing well, we've been winning, but I don't need to hear the Champions League music. Unless it's the Europa tune, we're going straight to the first half. Well, it's been a quiet start here tonight as we return after 12 minutes. There's been a few goals for the big sides going away in Europe so far tonight. But this one has been relatively calm as Cowan gets away down the right. Could this be our first chance? No idea why Ajax have changed into a kit that's not far off white, to be fair, as that is going to be a bit of a clash as Bayavang carries the ball forward to Stow on the left. Has plenty of support, carries it himself. Back to Bayavang, into Cowan, down for Merival Austin. Is he onside? I thought he looked on. Scully was definitely off, but I don't think he's in the keeper's eye line. So I think this might be awarded. Let's see if I'm right. The flag didn't go up. Does the referee's hand? No, it does not. 1-0 Distillery. Merival Austin is at it again. A big result if we can get it. As out comes King from the back. Oh, it's Leon King. There is a familiar name in there. Someone we've managed in the Twitch save with Rangers earlier this year. And a player who is got to be getting on for 35 in this save. As Gash gets it wide to Misselidis. Probably not quite 35 in fairness, but early 30s for sure. It's into Diekman in midfield, wide to Boss. Carries it down the right. Lots of support. Ajax getting men forward here. And in it goes. Diekman's one-on-one. It's a really good save from Morrison. Brilliant work to save with his legs. It's behind for a corner. But Ajax almost score within a minute. As Wang takes the corner. Of course, the star of the show, according to our assistant. It's cleared away. Only to the edge of the box. Good turn and shot. Blocked to the edge again. They push him forward in chase of an equaliser. But in a minute, it stays 1-0. And we've got a corner. Quarter of the game gone. Reed puts it in. Davis up but can't win the header. And it's away as far as Bayavang. Cuts in from the left to Davis, who's got time in possession. Now under pressure, but Bayavang wins it. Chips up towards Merival Austin. Header away is good. And they keep the ball, as you would probably expect from the Dutch sides. They're good in possession. They're playing out from the back. But there's no real potency to their play at the minute. As here is Leon King in defence. Carries it forward to Gamara. into midfield. It's a good turn. They've definitely got this threat on the counter. But is it going to lead to a goal as they pick it up again for Diekman? Just looking to make that run off the defender. Wide to Wang, who's off the left this time. Cuts in two. It's just over the bar. But he does look a threat. Him and Diekman causing trouble on the counter. Ajax had more shots in this game, but we are just 1-0 up. We're FM in them at the minute as Bayavang finds Davis, who plays a 1-2. Loses the ball to Diekman, just a bit casual in midfield there. Stahl wins it back though on the left and can carry forward towards Gash. Shoot! Wide to Cowan, he's got space. Stephen Cowan's in. It's a brilliant finish. Absolutely superb. It's against the run of play. It's not been a great display. But we're 2-0 up. It's a good ball from Gash. And Stephen Cowan puts the ball in the top corner. 2-0 and on the front foot again. As here we go. We've got the same graphic issue, by the way, where the stadium looks sold out according to number. We've got empty stands where the terracing is. Definitely something bizarre going on with the Champions League grounding. As here comes Bird out to Reed. On the right-hand side. Not getting a break in the highlights at the minute. Reed to the byline, no, into Misselidis. And it should have been 3. The second goal was not the stuffing out of Ajax. And with half an hour gone, we are looking much more confident. Well, another corner kick with 5 to the break. It's Gavin Reed looking to take it. Options at the back post include Davis, who's never scored before, I don't think, for us. Headed away off the line. Bird is offside for the rebound. That could have been a huge moment. I'm pretty sure he's not ever scored. I will have a look for us. But a cracking effort off the woodwork as Stahl throws in from the left and we're into 2 minutes added on in this first half. Merival Austin finds Gash, who goes wide to Stahl. He's got options to carry this forward. Instead, just play short of Bayavang and Gash. Over halfway he goes. Support on the right from Cowan. It's a good challenge though. Gash manages to get it back. Has options down the line. This time does find Cowan. Loads in the middle. We know that height is stacking up for every cross from the right-hand side. 6'5" Misselidis, 6'8" Scully, 6'2" Merival Austin. The latter heads that one over the bar. It remains 2-0 at the break, but a really good result. Despite the performance not really being our best for the first half. Let's tell the lads to keep it going. It is a crucial result. If we can make it more, if we can get the goal difference up, it all looks pretty good for our qualification chances. Stahl's got a throw on the left for Misselidis. We are definitely having a heat wave in this room as Stahl brings the ball forward. Over halfway unopposed, finds Gash, a player who might well be on his way in January, but for now, kept taking the game to Ajax as Wang wins it back off him, doing his defensive work as well. Play short to the midfielder, back to the keeper under pressure. Ajax taking the ultimate playing out from the back there as it's wide to Diekman on the left. Carries the ball down the line, not much pressure on him. Plays inside, and now it's been Nick Merival Austin pressing well. That is the way we want to play. Good work. Gamara in midfield. Pressed again. But they still keep possession. Ajax have had a lot of the ball early in the second half. But they're not really doing much with it. It's possession for the sake of it. As Diekman gets away down the left, I'm going to have to eat my words. It's a good ball into Wang and the Starman scores. Might have been closed down as the assistant suggested. But it wasn't enough to stop him scoring. And they've got another free kick. We could be very quickly pegged back here. From 2-0, we were comfortable, we were cruising, and now it's 2-1 with Ajax on the front foot, though we get that away to Scully. Holds up well on the left, takes on his man, got the pace to get away as well, and just holds up by the corner flag. It's brilliant work to Stahl. Options in the middle, Gash is there, but Stahl goes alone, cuts inside, back to Jordan Gash, good effort into the top corner. Jordan Gash with his first goal of the season, had injuries at the start of the summer, had a lot of links with moving away. But now he's got the 2-goal lead restored and it is a cracking finish from Jordan Gash. It's been an eventful game and we're still on the ball here with Bayavang. Wide to the right for Reed. Brings it down the line. Not much pressure on him again. And maybe Ajax have given up now as Cowan goes into Merival Austin. If they hadn't then, it would have if that went in. Just wide of the post it goes. On his weaker side, he gets the shot away. No threat on the goal as here we are. Bird nearly getting sent off there. Got to be careful diving in from that position as Cowan gets the ball to Merival Austin. This could be 4. Oh, it's straight at the keeper. Not quite good enough, I'm afraid. Well, we've left it till the final 15 minutes because with the weeks off after, there was no need to rush changes. But we've now picked up a knock for Stephen Cowan. So Paul Elliott will come on for him. Misselidis will switch with Vladimir on the left. I'm also going to do Merival Austin for Lonsdale. We'll bring on Houston for Gash. We'll try and keep it as sensible as possible. And then a final change in defence. You know what? We'll take off Gavin Reed We'll bring on young Matthew Freeman. Keep getting in minutes on the biggest stage as Vladimir has got a corner. Last chance to add a fourth. Davis up. Headed away as far as Bayavang. Space to shoot. Oh, keeper. Keeper, you've got to save that. Got a very strong hand to it, but his wrist was not playing along and it just fumbled into the corner. It is 4-1 late on with a Bayavang Tiddler, and he's very fortunate to get a goal out of that. Well done to the lads for a second 4-1 win. Now 2 weeks' time, Real Madrid, they're sure to pose a more difficult threat. Well, Real Madrid are here for the Champions League and we have got a lot of fitness tests to get through. Unfortunately, Misalidis has not stayed fit. He's got injured again. Most of the others should be alright after 2 weeks off. Let's go and get through to the start of it. Linfield have won all of their games in hand. Let's get through to face Real Madrid. Derry City away in Spain at Bilbao. And we have got lots of players to close down. Now, Real Madrid have got a goalkeeper on $500,000 a week who's not in their top 5 earners. They've got Paul Holt, who is the Ballon d'Or winner and England striker. They've still got 3 real players in their regulars. 2 of them are starting tonight in Musiala and Camavinga. They've kept their physical stats well. I'm not sure who that McCann is. I'm sure he played against us last time, where Real Madrid did play us off the park. But we'll see if we get any closer this time. How have we got a lower crowd for this one than the Ajax game? Someone tell me below. On the left-hand side, we're going to replace Misalidis with Vladimir. Dunn will come back onto the bench. And we've got a greyed-out goalkeeper because Doherty got a knock since the last game too. That means that we are as strong as we can be. I've made those couple of changes. So aside from Vladimir in on the left-hand side, the first 11 is the same as the Ajax game. I wouldn't mind the same outcome as well. Got a feeling this game might be a bit trickier though. Well, here we go. 3 changes for Real Madrid. Camavinga is the skipper and the other regular we talked about, Gvardiol, is on the bench today. But this is a good Real Madrid team. You've got 3 or 4 on 475 grand a week. You've got 1 on 600k. You've got a lot of players earning big money and on big quality here. Gattuso is in charge. We know what sort of player he was. And we know what sort of manager he's going to be too. So let's ask the players to pick up where they left off and get into the first half without Misalidis. Well, same problem with the ground, of course, as this stadium. Good enough to host Real Madrid, just behind the goal where they've seemingly cramped 6,500 in as the rest of it looks empty. But not good enough for, say, Slovan Bratislava in the Europa Conference. Although, I'm being unfair, they're in the Champions League too. As Marival Austin gets in behind, first shot is over the bar. But nice to see a highlight on the attack. I wasn't expecting that. Real Madrid will probably play out from the back. Let's see how they progress here. The Champions League music's still going. I've only just realised I've got a lovely backdrop to it here. There we go. It has finished now. I hope you enjoyed that. I didn't know it was going on. Shouldn't have taken my headphones out. I presumed if you skip quick enough it would go. But there you go. You got the theme tune once in this episode as Holt gets the ball down the left-hand side. Plenty of space to run into. We know the quality he's got. Finds Bangura. Back to Flores. Chipped up to Stewart. Options in the middle. Holt is one of them. He's there. And it falls for Hernandez to tap in. I mean, we just can't compete with what is essentially one of the 2 or 3 best sides in the world. Unfortunately, it's going to be a long night here. Real Madrid 1 up with 15 gone. The music did not inspire us as Camavinga gets the ball to Hernandez. We are talking about a side that's just a little bit successful in the Champions League, aren't we? As Stewart gets down the right, chance to take on his man. No real pressure on him, which is a worry. Gash sort of half clears it. Straight to Bangura. Into the box. Morrison lets it in. Musiala has not lost much of his quality, has he? 2-0 with 17 on the clock. Oh, it's going to be a long night. We're back again. Cowan gets it on the right to Marival Austin. Can we at least get a goal to celebrate? Here is Cowan on the wing. Chance to cross, but cuts back to Reed. Might shoot here. Does shoot. It deflects over. Oh, it doesn't. It looked like it changed direction, but nothing given. A goal kick and still 2-0 down. Well, a couple of minutes to the break and we've just had a warning about Marival Austin. A bruised ankle, probably not going to get worse, but at 2 down, there's no point taking a risk. We've seen that Camavinga has gone off for Real Madrid too, so they've got a big casualty tonight. And Marival Austin will be replaced by... We'll go for Owen Lonsdale, who's a little bit younger, see how he gets on. We'll give it 10 more minutes, then maybe we'll bring on some of the younger stars. The likes of Houston Freeman, half an hour against Real Madrid, could be an invaluable experience. Here we go then. It does seem to be quite calm now. Can we get a goal in this game? That's what I'm looking at now. As Berg gets the ball wide to Cowan. I'm also looking at where we get our other results. We've got 2 there. Can we win at AEK? And then 1 more will probably see us through. as Cowan brings the ball away on the right as support down the line. Goes himself though and runs into a bit of a blind alley. Forced back eventually to Gavin Reid. And now Bird into midfield. Wide to Cowan on the right. Support inside but goes long. And it's overhit. Carlos heads away. Stow's got options down the line though. Vladimir's there and there's a 6'8" striker in the middle. Plays short to Lonsdale instead. And sadly, I think that's offside. The joy will be short-lived, will it? Yes, it is. The referee's arm goes up. And the goal, I'm afraid to report, is disallowed. It's still 2-0 to Real Madrid. Well, we've got just over 25 minutes to go and we're going to start making changes. Trevor Davis has had a stinker, so I'll bring on Owen Kidd, the youngster. I'll bring on Freeman for Gavin Reid. I also want to get Houston on, and here we'll replace the anxious Bayavang. We might as well make that change while we can. And then going further forward, we've got Lonsdale not doing well off the bench. Cowan's been average. Do you know what? I'll bring Damien Dunn back. He needs a little bit of fitness. He'll come on the right-hand side. 25 to go. We've been competitive enough. But let's be honest, we've never really put Real Madrid in any danger. And we probably don't expect to on a night like this. But we want to win this European trophy come the end of the save. We've got to find a way to this level. And with the Northern Irish League where it is, it's looking quite far away considering how close FM24 is, isn't it? We've got 10 minutes to go and Morrison has a goal kick. He plays out from the back to Freeman. What an experience for him. Will he be a superstar before the end of this save? As Bird finds Dunn. Into midfield for Lonsdale. Ball over the top finds Vladimir. On the left-hand side. Can Scully stay on towards Lonsdale but just behind him? Freeman again. Into the box he goes. Chance to cross. Goes back to Gash. Back to Freeman again. Someone put the ball in, please. Gash to Dunn. We've got a goal. Damien Dunn off the bench. And to be fair to him, he's had his struggles this year with injury in particular. The odd occasion he has featured, whether it's in midfield as a central player in the number 10 or out on the right. He's been the best player almost every game. And I've got to say, I need to work him into this team because he's starting to become first 11 standard again. And he might well have overtaken Cowan, who's nearly 30. So I'm looking at the end of this sort of January transfer window coming up and thinking, we can get big money for Gash and Cowan. Could we bring 15 million in and sell 2 players on? Maybe we've got to start to think that way. We're in the final minute of stoppage time and Gash gets a yellow. But we had the VAR check for a penalty. It was never in there. Good entertaining game. We only lose by 1 goal in the end. It's a pretty good effort. The stats suggest it should have been worse and what we saw suggested it as well. We put up a pretty good fight. And you know what? 2-1 away at Old Trafford, 2-1 at home to Real Madrid. I mean, they're not bad defeats, are they? Let's go and tell the lads we're pleased with them. Have a look at the schedule when we're going to next return. Well, 6 points after 2 wins and 2 defeats. Stow suspended for the next Champions League game. Merival Austin will be fit by the weekend. And our under-18s manager, Timmy Abraham, has just been poached by Wrexham. So 230 grand in compensation, but we will be looking for a new staff member. Let's go and have a look at the schedule then. When are we next going to return? Oh, that looks like a good double-header. We've got Borussia Mönchengladbach and Hamilton. Of course, my favourite competition, the SPFL. And also Gladbach away from home. Might be one of those we need to get a result. Hopefully we can beat AEK. And then it's between Gladbach, Lyon and Newcastle to get a result. Maybe at home to Lyon we can nick a point. We did struggle with them in the knockouts a couple of years ago though. That's what I think we're going to do then. We'll do the ones in the middle of December. The European games are going to be the ones you want to see though, aren't they? Because that's where we're testing ourselves against the best. I'm a bit worried about that Newcastle one at the end, which apparently has Coleraine just one day before. God, I hope that schedule changes before then. But for now, if you did enjoy this one, a narrow defeat at home to Real Madrid after a good win against Ajax, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Let me know if you think we'll get through and whereabouts we'll go. Will we be in the knockout round or can we find a way into the top 8? I very much doubt it for the latter. Should we be busy in January and should I consider letting the likes of Gash and Cowan go as well? Let me know your thoughts on that too. If you want to stay up to date and see what I decide, then subscribe and turn that notification bell on. Thank you to HelloFresh for the support again. You can find a link to that near the top of the description. You can get your box before the end of August using the discount link. And of course, there's plenty of content in the eye above. My first away day as a Premier League football fan came last weekend. I'm sure there'll be some clips of that somewhere. But thank you very much for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. And I'll see you back here next time for more big games with Distillery.